Thanks for watching today's episode of Battle Mania. If you enjoyed exploring these epic moments in military history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update from our channel. The 10 most important battles in history. Throughout history, pivotal battles have shaped the fate of nations, determined the rise and fall of empires, and altered the course of human civilization. Each of these conflicts reveals the tactics, strategies, and technologies employed by various cultures and peoples, spanning thousands of years. Let's dive into 10 of the most significant battles in history, exploring the military operations, key figures, and lasting impacts. 1. The Battle of Marathon, 490 BC. The Battle of Marathon is often hailed as one of the most significant encounters in ancient history. Fought between the Persian Empire, led by King Darius I, and the city-state of Athens, it took place during the first Persian invasion of Greece. With their army vastly outnumbered, the Athenians employed a tactical formation known as the phalanx, which involved tightly packed rows of infantry. Using superior positioning, they were able to break through the Persian lines. Militarily, this battle marked the first time a Greek army decisively defeated the Persians, preserving the independence of Greece and ensuring the survival of its nascent democratic society. It is also remembered for the legendary run of Phidippides, who is said to have carried the message of victory back to Athens, covering approximately 26 miles, a feat commemorated in modern marathons. 2. The Battle of Gaugamela, 331 BC. The Battle of Gaugamela was a turning point in world history. Alexander the Great of Macedon faced off against the Persian king Darius III. This battle marked the culmination of Alexander's campaign to conquer the Persian Empire. The Persian forces, vastly superior in numbers, hoped to overwhelm the Macedonian army. However, Alexander's tactical genius shone through. Using a combination of cavalry maneuvers and surprise attacks, Alexander exploited a gap in the Persian lines, leading his cavalry directly at Darius. In the face of this sudden assault, the Persian king fled, leaving his army to collapse. This victory effectively marked the end of the Persian Empire and the beginning of the Hellenistic Age. 3. The Battle of Hastings, 1066 AD. The Battle of Hastings was a critical moment in English history. On October 14, 1066, William, Duke of Normandy, confronted King Harold II of England. William's claim to the English throne led to this conflict, which saw the Normans decisively defeat the Anglo-Saxon army. One of the key factors in William's success was the use of cavalry, which the English lacked. The Norman archers softened up the Anglo-Saxon shield wall, and the mounted knights then charged in to break it apart. The death of Harold during the battle sealed the fate of the English forces. The Battle of Hastings had a profound impact on English society. It marked the beginning of Norman rule in England, which brought significant cultural and political changes. The blending of Norman and Anglo-Saxon traditions ultimately shaped the English language and legal system. 4. The Siege of Jerusalem, 70 AD. The Siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD was a pivotal moment in the First Jewish-Roman War. The Roman general Titus, son of Emperor Vespasian, led the assault on the city, which had become the epicenter of Jewish resistance. After months of fierce fighting, the Romans breached the city's defenses and destroyed the Second Temple, one of the holiest sites in Judaism. This siege had devastating consequences. The destruction of the temple marked the beginning of the Jewish diaspora, dispersing Jews throughout the Roman Empire. It also signified the crushing of Jewish autonomy and resistance to Roman rule in the region. 5. The Battle of Tours, 732 AD. The Battle of Tours was a decisive confrontation that took place between the Frankish forces, led by Charles Martel, and an invading Muslim army from the Umayyad Caliphate. The Muslim forces had been advancing into Western Europe, and Tours, in present-day France, was the last barrier preventing their further expansion. Charles Martel's forces employed a strong defensive position on higher ground. After several days of skirmishing, the Franks launched a surprise counterattack, routing the Umayyad forces and killing their leader, Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi. The victory at Tours is often credited with halting the Muslim advance into Europe and preserving Christian dominance in the region. 6. The Battle of Agincourt, 1415 AD. The Battle of Agincourt is one of the most famous military encounters of the 100 Years' War between England and France. On October 25, 1415, King Henry V of England, vastly outnumbered, led his troops against the French forces. Despite their numerical inferiority, the English employed longbowmen to devastating effect. The muddy battlefield also hindered the heavily armored French knights, allowing the English archers to pick them off from a distance. Henry's victory at Agincourt solidified his claim to the French throne, although the war would drag on for several more decades. The longbow, a simple yet powerful weapon, proved to be a revolutionary technology that gave the English a tactical advantage for many years. 7. The Battle of Lepanto, 1571 AD. The Battle of Lepanto was a naval engagement fought between the Holy League, a coalition of European Catholic states, and the Ottoman Empire. It took place in the waters of the Gulf of Patras, and its outcome had far-reaching implications for the balance of power in the Mediterranean. The Holy League's victory, led by Don John of Austria, was the first major defeat of the Ottoman navy in over a century. It prevented Ottoman expansion into the Western Mediterranean and signaled a turning point in the struggle between Christian Europe and the Muslim Ottoman Empire. The battle also marked the last significant naval engagement fought primarily with galleys, as sailing ships began to dominate naval warfare in the following centuries. 8. The Battle of Saratoga, 1777 AD. The Battle of Saratoga, fought during the American Revolutionary War, is often considered the turning point in the conflict. British forces, led by General John Burgoyne, sought to divide the American colonies by marching down from Canada. However, the Americans, under the command of General Horatio Gates and Benedict Arnold, managed to defeat the British in two major engagements. This victory convinced France to enter the war on the side of the Americans, providing critical military and financial support. Without French assistance, the American colonies might not have achieved independence. Saratoga's significance lies in the fact that it changed the international dynamics of the war, transforming it from a colonial rebellion into a global conflict. 9. The Battle of Waterloo, 1815 AD. The Battle of Waterloo is one of the most famous battles in modern history, marking the end of the Napoleonic Wars. On June 18, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte faced off against a coalition of British, Dutch, Belgian, and Prussian forces, led by the Duke of Wellington and the Prussian General Blücher. Napoleon's strategy involved dividing and conquering his enemies before they could unite, but Wellington's defensive tactics held firm against repeated French assaults. The timely arrival of Blücher's Prussian forces turned the tide of battle. Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo led to his final exile and the restoration of the Bourbon monarchy in France. 10. The Battle of Stalingrad, 1942 to 1943 AD. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought during World War II, is widely regarded as one of the bloodiest and most pivotal battles in history. German forces, under the command of General Friedrich Paulus, launched a massive assault on the city of Stalingrad, aiming to capture it and secure the oil fields of the Caucasus. The Soviet Union, led by General Vasily Chukov and eventually Marshal Georgy Zhukov, mounted a fierce defense, engaging in brutal house-to-house fighting. After months of fighting and immense losses on both sides, the Soviets launched a counteroffensive that encircled the German Sixth Army. Starving and out of supplies, the Germans were forced to surrender in February 1943. The Battle of Stalingrad marked the beginning of the German retreat on the Eastern Front and was a major turning point in World War II. It demonstrated the resilience of the Soviet military and the strategic value of urban warfare.